The werewolves howling in apartment 3. Vampires have a midnight book club tea. Mummy's jogging with his bandages loose. Frankenstein's charging his phone with the lightning boost. Oh, the neighbors are strange, but they're kinda cool. A ghoul in the pool, zombies breaking the rules. Don't mind the creaks or the occasional roar, 'cause there's more monsters next door. Invisible man keeps stealing my fries. Creature from the lagoons got chlorine in his eyes. Dracula's mirror is cracked, no reflection to see. And the skeletons DJing at the local spree. Spiders in the mailbox, bats in the tree. A haunted house party every night for free. Oh, the neighbors are strange, but they're kinda cool. Ghoul in the pool, zombies breaking the rules. Don't mind the creaks or the occasional roar, 'cause there's more monsters next door. More monsters next door. More monsters next door.
He's hunched under the hood of that Hudson. Got the flathead tapping slow. Got the carb spread open on the workbench. All the boats lined up in a row. He's been at it half of that afternoon, but he ain't working by himself. He's got a little helper standing right beside him, handing tools down from the shelf. There's an oily little hand with a socket, a dirty grease smudged cheek and a grin, turning bolts like a pro on that manifold, like this is where they've always been. Boys will be boys, folks like to say, 'cause that's the way of this crazy world. But in the gasoline smell of that big garage, Daddy raised himself a car girl. She's all NASCAR on a Sunday, all Daytona lights and roar.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Damn Show on the Critical Blast podcast. I'm your host, the Master Smoothman.
I cannot hear you. Hold on one second.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Hold on.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hear me? Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Put the earbuds back in.
Now can you hear me?
Okay, try again.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
No? No.
Oh, sorry.
It was working earlier.
Interesting. Give me one second. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Turn it that way. Okay, did that work?
I can still hear you. Can you hear
No, it
me?
didn't. I still can't hear you.
No.
Mild. Hold on one second.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can
can.
you hear me yet? Oh no.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Stand by, everybody. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Yeah, let's plug more monsters next door. This is the book Howard's plugging right here. RJ is plugging right there. More monsters next door. It's the most recent of Critical Blast anthologies. It has 20 stories, including one of mine right there. A fat book.
It worked for a second.
All right. Can you hear me?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. This has happened before.
It worked for like half a second and then it didn't work anymore. That is so weird.
Okay, wow. Let's talk about Fables Next Door. That's also a Critical Blast anthology. No, that's Monsters Next Door. Damn. This is the first book. This is the sequel. Both available. Fables Next Door, also a Critical Blast anthology. This one has color artwork on the inside. Let's
Okay,
see.
I can hear you now.
All right, excellent. Okay. Now, we've had that happen before, so don't worry about that.
It's fine.
Had that happen. We've had that happen on a few shows, actually. We never can figure out why.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's start over. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Damn Show on the Critical Blast podcast. I'm your host, Damascus Mintzmeyer. Our regular host, RJ Carter, isn't here tonight because he's volunteered to travel to the planet Cybertron to mediate a peace treaty between the Autobots and Decepticons. Don't worry, though. He'll be back tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'll be interviewing our returning guest, author IZZY, whose newest novella, Died, was recently released. For the next hour, we'll be talking about zombie apocalypses, George Romero, Alice in Chains, and what makes body horror so interesting. So, IZZY, it's nice to have you back as a guest.
Thank you for having me back.
Yes, no problem. It's been a while since you've been here, so let's remind our viewers about you by asking this by answering this question: who are you? What do you do? And why do you do it?
My name is IZZY. I am a writer. Actually, I'm more of a storyteller who thinks she's a writer. And because I absolutely love it. And it's the only thing I'm sort of kind of good at. So there you go.
Yeah, well, it's like you were saying before the show. We were talking about shipping costs and everything like that. And you're like, I don't do this for the money. You're like, I don't care. Just so people get their books and enjoy the story. That's like what's important to you.
Yeah, like I used to have my website, right? And I, financial stuff, and it went away. But one thing I want to do is once I get that back to just put all my stories up there in PDF, and then just everybody can just have them, so.
So, Died is a sort of a side story set in the same world as two of your other books, A Dandy Among the Dead and Xmas of the Dead. Tell us how you came up with the idea for Died and why you set it in that particular world.
I started, this story was born way before A Dandy Among the Dead was even thought of.
Oh, wow.
It was like it was something that I actually just wanted to film, and so like that was the idea, because the house in Died is my parents' house on a ski lake. So
Hmm,
um,
that's
I kind
interesting.
of set it there, and because I just know it, I just know every, like, all the nooks and crannies and everything. So I set it there, and then you know, the more I thought about it, the you know, I just changed things here and there, still kept the house as the main thing. Um, our, um, you know, our protagonist is deaf and has to now survive in a world of mutated corpses. So,
Yeah.
and they were always a heroin addict and was going to become this type of creature called a gray eye. So.
Explain to us what a explain to us because you do have a wide variety of creatures in your Dandy World books. So explain to the audience some of the different ones that you have, and specifically what a gray eye is, because this is a fascinating concept there.
Yeah. So a gray eye is basically, you know, someone who has died and has come back, but they are they are themselves. They're not just a mindless walking corpse, you know, looking to devour human flesh or anything. They're still conscious of who they are. They still have memory, and they are unable to die. And I call them gray eye because their eyes are completely gray. So but yeah, they are unable to die, and they will regenerate anything that, like for example, if their arm gets blown off, then they will use whatever material, whatever molecules are around them, to regenerate, uh, you know, the damage. So our Lottie goes through a lot of that, and she is uh, looking for that the entire book, basically the one thing that's going to be able to um, you know, rest in peace, basically.
Right. So that's like her particular hell is she wants to die, but she can't, like
Yeah,
ever.
she can't. And she's a drug
Hmm.
addict, and you know, she's um, not only can she not die, but she can't get high either. And um, for an addict, for somebody that needs to numb the pain or of, you know, trauma, or you know, it's self-medicating, right? And
Hmm.
she is unable to do that, and she's completely exposed to her traumas now. And I think that's really kind of like the catalyst for, you know, her seeking out, you know, final, you know, death. So
Now, Lottie is actually quite a complex character. I really liked her a lot. Tell us more about her and specifically how she developed during the creative process.
um she's just really me, I guess. I mean, I'm not deaf or you know, have an OnlyFans account yet. But I've worked with deaf people all my life, and to see the way that they get treated is pretty horrible. And um, I think it kind of came from that, and just like obviously the parent stuff. I'm like, yeah, like I'm good with parent trauma. I think a
Right.
lot of my books kind of touch on that because it's something that I know a lot about. And so, you know, addiction as well. You know, she's somebody who does not see her deafness as a hindrance or anything, you know, like a handicap or anything. And
Right.
it's her mother who is somebody, her mother is a hearing person. And so you have a hearing person raising a deaf daughter in a hearing world. And
Right.
that, I don't want to like parents will do whatever parents want to do. You know, that is your child and everything. And uh, Lottie's mom, um, the first chance she got, she had her daughter Lottie get the implant, the cochlear implant.
Right.
That did not come from a place. of love that came from a place of wanting to be normal. And I think um, like I've never had a child who is deaf, but I know that deaf people are just people that it the only negative thing about being a deaf person is hearing people, because hearing people make life so much more difficult, you know. So so yeah, it really came through, like Lottie came through like those different things of just how I see, you know, how people are treated.
Yeah, Lottie's mother, um, as you were saying, like, Lottie's her daughter, and you can raise them as you want, but her forcing Lottie to get the cochlear implant, as you say, was not from a place of love. It was from a place of selfishness. Like Lottie's mother was just being selfish, and
Mhm.
she used Lottie as like a punching bag, basically, like an emotional punching bag. She would just take out every single aggression on her, and she didn't ever try to like what struck me is she never tried to learn sign language. She was just one of those, she didn't try to understand her daughter at all.
Mhm.
She just was trying to force her into a mold that was not going to fit.
Right. And I know a little bit about that. You know, I mean, my dad was not somebody that um, wanted anything other than a manly man,
Right.
a man who played sports, and see how that turned out. You know, so.
Yeah,
But
but the what's reader feedback on Lottie been? Like, I like it a lot.
it's been good. Like most people, you know, like her and everything. A lot of the feedback that I've gotten is like for the story as a whole.
Hmm.
Um, you know, a lot of people, you know, just like for the overall story, just really, really like it. But I haven't really seen a whole lot of deep dives into Lottie yet. So I'm interested that once this kind of book, you know, hopefully, you know, gains a bigger audience, that I can sort of, you know, talk to people about her, because I think that she's someone that is very interesting. Yeah, she's deaf, and you know, and that's one part of her, but that's just, you know, that's just who she is. It's and being an OnlyFans model, I think there's such a stigma around having OnlyFans accounts, being a sex worker and stuff, and I've never understood it. And I guess that's the other part of her, is that I've I've never understood why it is such this, you know, taboo thing to be, you know, having OnlyFans or whatever, you know. So yeah.
That can be traced back to like the Puritanism of like early colonial America.
uh,
That's like that.
don't get
You
started
can
on colonizers, man. Don't do it.
yeah. But that's where that comes from, I think, because there
Yeah,
is that stigma specifically in America. There's that stigma. You don't
yeah.
see that stigma in other countries,
Mhm.
like in Europe.
I
Like in
don't.
Europe, nudity and nudity and sex working in Europe is a much more open thing as
Yeah,
opposed to America.
yeah. And that's like, you're totally right. The you know the grip that um you know the patriarch has on what purity is and what womanhood is pretty disgusting. So um and like I was thinking about this the other day. I like if OnlyFans had been around when I was younger, like when I was, you know, in my 20s or whatever, I would have done it too, with absolutely no shame, you know, because that's just who I am, you know. And
Right?
like, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, like, you know, like, if you follow my stories, you might get some pictures that you don't want, you know. But that's just who I am, you know, and I have no shame about it, you know. So
That's cool though.
yeah,
The cool thing about that though is you know who you are.
yeah,
Like a lot of people either don't know who they are or they've allowed other people to try to tell them who they are, and they
yeah,
just kind of go with it.
Yeah, you can never let somebody else tell you who you are. Only you can do that because you're the one that lives with you. You know, those people aren't around you 24/7. They're not with you during the times that you're laying in bed at, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, you know what, I should just go ahead and pull the trigger. They're not with you during those times. You are. So you got to be happy for you.
That's right. Actually, on that note, we're talking about trauma.
Mhm.
Trauma is like a recurring theme in your work. Many of your protagonists, like Lottie, suffer post-traumatic stress from events in their past. In your novel, the novella The Jetty, the demon Noxidus uses Penelope's memories of her abusive father against her. And we've already talked about Lottie experiencing flashbacks and hallucinations of her hateful mother. What is it about that particular theme that makes you return to it again and again in your work?
I just know it. It's a part of my recipe or whatever. Um, I try to write as honestly as possible, and um, that's just what comes out. I never like I never really try to plot anything. I just like have a general idea of a character and a setting and a situation, and just kind of let it go from there. And I guess subconsciously, I always go back to that because that's what I lived with. My my dad passed away in October, and that that event, because like it obviously in the jetty, that I think I
Right.
said that was like my 200 page
Hmm.
session, because me and my father did not have a great relationship. And when he was sick, um when because I had not talked to him, like, this was somebody who told me that they would kill me if I was ever queer. And I wrote
Hmm.
that in the jetty.
Yeah, you
And
did. I remember that.
when you have somebody like that who knows where you live, wanting to come out as trans is kind of scary. So, uh, legitimately, I had my mom. I had my mom tell my dad because I was too afraid. Can you believe that? And like, that should tell you something, right?
Mhm. Yes,
So,
definitely.
so I had not talked to my dad in almost like 8 months. And on the 4th of July weekend of last year, I got a call that he was in a coma, and 3 months later he was gone. You know, and there was nothing that me and my dad had left unsaid. Everything that we wanted to say, we said.
Right.
And um, that, I mean, obviously, a death of a parent is catastrophic, if you have a good or bad relationship with them. I mean, if you have any relationship with them, it's going to be a thing, right?
Correct.
And for me, I went through probably one of the darkest periods I ever went through, because my my dad had just passed away, and all those feelings had started to come up again. I had tried to do another sale of the book, and I lost my ass on it.
Hmm.
And then I just fell into the one of the deepest, darkest depressions I've ever fell into. And I came out the other end with, two novellas, one of them being Died and the other being Six Is My Name. And those two definitely reflect the time that that I wrote those books. So, Died came from a bunch of different angles. It came from that angle that I had from 10 years, 15 years ago, of doing a little movie, to, you know, post father death, syndrome. So, yeah.
It's amazing sometimes though, because I've had projects like that they'll gestate in your mind for such a long time
Hmm.
that almost like the starting point, almost I don't want to say it becomes lost, but it like transforms as it goes along. Because like if it takes 10, 15 years for the story to from germination in your mind until you actually finish it, it becomes almost more about the journey than where it starts or where it finishes.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I can I I can definitely in all your work, the you were talking about honesty, trying to be honest as possible. That is the one thing I think I like most about your work is that it is very, very, very honest.
Yeah,
Like you hold nothing back about anything, and
no, I
you
can't help.
cannot ask for more, in a writer than that.
I can't help it. It's just the way I am. Like I can't, like, if I'm gonna tell you a story, it's gonna have, it might be Evil Dead 2, or it might be Eraserhead, or you know what I mean, or it might be Tetsuo or whatever. Um, yeah, I just I it's eh, I think art in any form, whether it's writing or storytelling or songs or movie, whatever, acting, um, it's got to come from a place of honesty, because if it's not, then it's a lie and it's fabricated, and
That's true.
I don't dig that stuff. So
Yeah, because then it's just a fabricated sort of just cash grab.
yeah,
Because that's when you get like in movies, that's when you get like you can tell, especially in the horror genre, you can tell the stuff that's made like passionately by people that really love it, and you can tell the stuff that's just like studio crap that executive is just throwing a lot of money at.
I don't have anything against the cash grab, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm ready for that cash grab. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about you mentioned Tetsuo. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see like Tetsuo in this in Died. Like I can
Yeah.
see
Oh,
it. I
there,
can
there,
totally see it. The
there
scenes
is
where she's regenerating, I can see all that in there. And there's that
from.
scene. There's the scene where she's in the truck, and there's the Knights Templars are like in there, and she gets like she like fuses like the machine gun, and oh, when I was reading it, I was like, this is Tetsuo right here. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, totally. Um, so in this world, so like there's this. They're basically the clan. They're called the Templar, but it's the fucking clan. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
they figured out somehow, I don't fucking know, but you can get like an intense high by burning one of the gray eyes, and the smoke that comes off of them, you can get like this fucking like really intense high, right? And so they're like, cool, do that with her. And usually they will have a plastic bucket underneath to catch all the ash, because spoiler alert, gray eyes, yeah, they can use like whatever molecules they can to regenerate, except for plastic.
Yeah.
Not anything. Not
Yeah.
saying anything, but um so yeah, so they smoke her in this huge hookah, and she comes back and she absorbs the propane tanks and the tubes and everything, and yeah, I totally ripped that off.
But that is like, I remember when I was reading it, I was like, that is so Tetsuo, and I loved it because that movie is for people who have not seen Tetsuo the Iron Man or its sequels. That
Yeah,
movie is like insane,
like
like
really,
totally insane.
any Shinya Takamoto movie, I mean, really is, you're gonna have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
I love him in Itchy the Killer, and like, oh my god,
Yes, I love that movie.
yeah,
That movie is nuts too.
yeah,
Oh
oh yeah,
man,
yeah.
because I love the ending of that movie, like that fight on the rooftop.
Mhm,
That
mhm,
is like insane. I love that.
yeah. Like, I'm reminded of Dead or Alive. That the ending of that movie, that was
Mm.
insane. That was like a gunfight thing. It was a true Japanese, what the fuck did I just watch movie.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
Tetsuo is Eraserhead, but with the volume turned all the way up and then passed
mhm.
up, you know? Um, Amazing soundtrack. I mean, just absolutely amazing soundtrack. Probably my favorite soundtrack ever, Tetsuo.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it about body horror that fascinates you?
I
Because
don't
that's
know.
a recurring theme in your work too.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the violence or what. Uh, I don't know. I have a really weird thing with regeneration. That was something in the Jetty that happened a
Yeah.
lot, and I don't know why. I just think it like I don't know. I think I am disturbed by going back to Japan. Guinea pig, like those types of
Yeah.
movies and stuff. Um, I am deeply disturbed by those like extreme movies. I cannot stop watching them, um,
Hmm.
but I am disturbed by them. So I think that because of that, and plus like Tetsuo, there's such an energy to it that it like transcends just art, and then it becomes influence. And I'm so like the influence that movie and that music gives me it's just like a supernova. It's just energy, right? And then I just take it and I direct it. And so um and then it's like you got to mix in those fears, of just um like American Guinea Pig and that that whole fucking series,
Hmm.
so, but yeah, I think my interest in it is because it's weird to me and it disturbs me.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. There
yeah.
is sort of like a violence and transformation, like if you think about it, like Clive Barker does that a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's like that's a recurring theme in his work. It's like the violence of transformation is
Mhm.
a recurring theme in his work also.
Yeah.
And
And
I like that.
like I love Clive because like he does this weird thing of violence being oddly sexy a little bit, and like it's um it's alluring, and it's got this sheen on it that I like, and because he's just such a brilliant writer. Just the way the language that he uses to write
Hmm.
um, is just so it's comforting. I don't know. So, but yeah.
So you were talking about the music in Tetsuo. I know you're an Alice in Chains fan, and they have a song named "Died." Is that a coincidence or not?
No, that's not a coincidence at all.
I didn't think so.
I'm gonna let
How?
I'm gonna let everybody in on a secret. Um, there are no coincidences with me and my work. If it is something blatant, if it looks blatant, it is completely blatant. So
Excellent.
there you go.
So how
Like
integral is music to how integral is music to like the actual writing process? Do you listen to music when you write, or do you need like complete silence when you write?
I can do both. Like usually, like I go to sleep when I write, so like I'm in another world. So music kind of becomes like wallpaper. George Romero talked about that. Like he, had TCM on or CNN on, and it was just wallpaper. And so
Hmm.
that's what kind of music is to me. I will listen to like Blackwater Holy Light a ton, just because I love the mood that it gives me, and I think that's what it is. It's like I need the right mood to do what I need to do while I'm asleep. So
That's cool though.
yeah, I have a playlist called Mad Alice, which is just a mix of Alice in Chains and Mad Season songs that I write to. So yeah.
I do that too. When anything that I write, I always make like a soundtrack for it. I actually have to have silence to write, but
Mhm.
I can use the soundtrack to like put me in the mood
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
So,
It's like I drive to work and I listen to nothing but 80s music. But then
mhm.
once I get to work, it's all focus, I need that music to bring me up to where I need to be, and then I just need to focus and then silence. I get that. I get that a lot. Totally.
So you mentioned George Romero. I know his movies have great impact on you. Actually, I've got a Night of the Living Dead shirt on right
Oh,
now.
she is. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking
So
about.
so what is it about specifically about Romero's work that you find so inspiring? Like, 'cause I know you're a huge fan.
How much time we got, homie?
Yeah,
Dude,
all night.
he he like there's an energy with his work, and I don't know if it comes from the writing, the cinematography, the editing. There's just something about his work that really speaks to me from all the way back from when he did Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, spots,
Right.
um, like, I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows why one artist grabs you compared to another? Like I love, like, if there's a camp, it's Romero. That's the one I'm in. I actually my when I was going, I actually told Brian Keene this when I was going through transition, and I had the opportunity to choose my own name. My Obviously Isabella was the name that I wanted, and my middle name is Romero because of him and because
That's
of the
cool.
impact that he has on my life. And just through his art, how amazing is that? Just through his art, he changed my life. Um, who knows? It's his energy, it's his voice through art that attracted me to him. Right place, right time. Who knows? But I'm I'm a lifelong fan, and that's just I was lucky enough to meet him. You know, before
That's
we passed
awesome.
away. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff signed by him from a convention. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Romero fan myself. I think if I had to pick one horror series ever that was like my favorite, I would probably pick his Living Dead films,
Yeah.
just as like my all-time favorites, because
Yeah.
they never let me down and they're all really good.
Are we talking like the first three, the four, the six, or the
Oh,
five, or
all
whatever?
six. I liked all six. I even like Survival of the
I love
Dead. That
like
one's a good movie too.
I I know, like, okay, so earlier today, it's the zombie readathon, okay,
Hmm.
and um, there was somebody who posted their favorite zombie movies, and they did the remake for Dawn of the Dead, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like I'm literally biased.
Mhm.
Like you cannot trust my word on it. It's like, what is the greatest movie that has come out in the 2000s? Well, it's either Bruiser or Land of the Dead or Survival of the Dead, obviously.
Mhm.
know? So yeah, his Living Dead movies are just, yeah, all of his movies are amazing.
Yeah, I love Land of the Dead, man. That one's underrated right there. Like
Yeah.
I love that one. I think that one might have my favorite characters of any of the ones because I love Robert Joy's character.
Oh
I
yeah,
love Simon Baker's character in
yeah,
that.
Baker.
Those are and John Leguizamo is great in that too.
Oh, dude,
But
Cholo,
character, yes, yeah,
Cholo.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, forget it. I mean, like that, like
Hmm.
he was amazing. That Dennis Hopper was amazing. The really weird thing about Simon Baker's character, I don't know if you know. So I sat in on a panel discussion with George Romero one time, and he talked about Land of the Dead. This is a really quick story, but Simon Baker, he was talking about developing Land of the Dead and everything, and he wanted an African American to play the lead, the Simon Baker character, right? And he was
Right.
told by the studio, I guess it was Universal, right? Yeah, because they have the thing.
Yeah.
Was told by the studio that because of foreign markets, the only person that they would consider is Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
That's why Simon Baker is the lead in that movie.
I
Simon Baker is
see.
amazing, and he's awesome, and he's great in it. I love him. But I would have loved to see Eugene
I could
Clark.
actually see. I could actually see like Denzel saying some of those lines
Oh
though.
yeah, totally. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
That would have been awesome.
It's such a I mean, anyway.
Ozzy Argento is really good in that movie too. Like
She
he just
is.
adds so much to that. I love that.
Yeah, she was very good. A lot of people like Pillsbury and Monolete, the bullfighter, and Motown. Like he was so good at like character actors or just like characters, and
Hmm.
I think that's where a lot of like I love to create characters kind of like that. Just somebody that, yeah, it's over the top, but it's based in reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every character that he ever made, yeah, it was probably larger than life. Like, Survival of the Dead, Alan Van Sprang, I mean, his character, yeah, but it was based in reality. That guy had a ton of issues, but yeah, I think, I can go on and on about Romero. Anyway.
Yeah. Diary of the Dead. I remember when the first time I watched that, I'd heard a lot of like bad stuff about it, but I
Yeah.
was like, that's a really good movie. It has probably my favorite kill of the entire 6 movie series, and that's when the Amish guy he takes a scythe and puts it right through his own face.
Great,
That
great.
Oh man, I did not see that coming. The first time I saw that, like, what the fuck? What did I just see?
Yeah.
But
I
that was
love that
great.
concept too, because I mean that was like, I mean, like Blair Witch Project had come out like a few years before that, and then Land of the Dead came out in like 2004 or 5ish, and then
Yeah.
Diary of the Dead came out a couple years after that. So that kind of genre of movies was cooking, and
hmm
he did his own thing, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
I love that part in Diary when because we see at the beginning when they're like filming the zombie movie, and then
Yeah,
later on in the movie they're like actually running away from the zombies and the clothes are half off and everything. I remember when I saw that, I was like, now that's witty. That's
yeah,
clever.
yeah. That yeah, dude, and that had what's her name? She played She-Hulk later on. She was in that movie.
Oh yeah, she was,
Yeah,
wasn't she?
yeah.
Huh.
She drove the Winnebago or whatever, and then she got out and you know game over herself. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But yeah, no, and I've listened to the comment. Like, I'm a commentary track whore. I love
hmm
commentary tracks. I've probably listened to like Night of the Living Dead commentary tracks, both of them, 100 times, easily. Dawn of the Dead, same thing. Day of the Dead, Night Riders, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead. Like, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
So yeah, I love that shit.
So you were talking. You mentioned Brian Keene earlier. People who don't know, he is a New York best-selling. He's a New York Times best-selling author who somehow I don't know how he got a hold of your died,
Oh,
but he
that's
was posting positive reviews about it on his social media and on an author blog and rave reviews.
yeah.
So how did you feel when you learned someone of like that high up on the right in the literary food chain was championing your novella?
How lucky am I? Like, really, like,
hmm
how fortunate am I? I mean, like, who? Like, I'm a nobody, dude. I'm a fucking nobody. And this guy, like, okay, so, all right, settle in, kiddies. Here we go. Story time. All right, so, um, I I finished Died. I finished Six is My Name. So Died was originally I pitched it, right. A publisher had a submission. I pitched it, and they passed. And I'm like, but see, they passed while sending me an email saying we liked it, just not right now, which is a thing, right? Like, if you get
Yeah, yeah,
a no letter with a hope to work with you again in the future, that's a thing, okay?
yeah.
So I was like, really, like, that kind of pumped me up a little bit, and it gave me the confidence to really start going to different people saying, hey, do you want to read this, do you want to read this? I'm actually going to do an e-arc thing. And on a whim, like, I don't know where I got the courage to do this. It was probably from that rejection letter that I sent Laurel Hightower, who is the author of Crossroads and Day of the Door, and just uh, I mean, Crossroads in itself is just you forget about it, right?
hmm
Um, so I'm like, and like, we had like message back and forth, online, and I was just like, hey, you want to read this story? And she said yes, and I sent it to her, and she loved it. and her and Brian were talking, and she talked me up. Laurel Hightower talked me up to Brian Keene. That is what happened. And she messaged me and was like, "Hey, I talked you up. Would it be okay if I sent him a copy?" And I was like, "Sure, yes, please." And then I got an email from him. I got an email from Brian Keene, and was like, basically, loved it, still reading it, but loving it. And, here's a cool little quote to pop out on socials. And I did that immediately because god damn, that name carries weight. Laurel's name carries weight. And like, that is how it happened. Is
That's
because,
awesome.
yeah. And oh, man, I just feel like, I mean, like, what the fuck? I feel very fortunate is what I'm saying, for Laurel.
I was so proud of you when I saw that in your story on Instagram. I was like, wow.
Out of everybody, right? It's like me,
Mm-hmm.
out of everybody, he said that about me. And that's just, I don't know, man. Like, I was like, honestly, for like a week, at least a good 3 or 4 days, where I was on some surreal high haze, riding on a cloud, because, man, when you get somebody like that saying that about your book, saying that it's transformative, and like all the amazing things he said in his newsletter, I mean, like, me? You sure? But yeah, so yeah, it was surreal in the best way possible. Completely grateful for everything, because he
It's
doesn't.
validation too. I mean, that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
What's that?
I said it's validation also. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
you don't have
Because
to
like,
like.
I don't know if I'm any good. Like literally, like, because like I have such low self-esteem that I don't know if what I'm doing is actually really good. And I think when somebody like of his stature says that, it kind of makes you think, maybe I got something here. Maybe maybe I'm pretty good at this, So yeah,
Absolutely.
it like I've always known that I'm like a storyteller type of person. But like, being an author is completely different. Like, I could spin a good yarn, man. I can spin it with the best of them, but to form it into something where people can like sit down and read, that is a completely different craft. And to try and and this last year has been like really, really hard, but I've learned so much. I've learned so much about myself and the craft. And yeah, it's just, I feel fortunate, honestly, just fortunate.
So speaking, you mentioned another novella called Six Is My Name.
Yep.
I've got the ARC for that on my phone. I haven't read it yet, but it's in my reading queue. Can you give us a hint to what it's about and how it's connected to Died and the other Dandy World books?
Oh, it's not. It is a completely standalone book.
Oh, okay, okay.
It is a so Died. I wrote, so like kind of how, like I said, with Died began long ago. Six Is My Name started long ago with those movies, like Guinea Pig and those types of movies. Really kind of stuck in my brain and got under my skin a little bit, so I had to write something to kind of get it out. And Six Is My Name is a very bleak story. It's a bleak trans coming of age story, about a young trans girl who is unable to live in her parents' house because uh, her dad might beat her to death for being
Mm,
who she is. So she is shipped off to live with other family who are no better.
yeah.
And it and so she and her cousin Bonnie bond over trauma and the circumstances of their life. And the book is about that. It's about them, trying to survive in a horrible world. It's not happy. It is
Yeah.
not. I think Spineless Book Reviews said one of my favorite quotes. Uh, Go into this book expecting to be uh, hurt to your core, and then still be surprised by the damage it does.
Hmm.
And that
That's
is,
awesome.
yeah, it is. I don't know, like, I made a post, and I don't know how much promotion I'm gonna do for it, because it is kind of it's a hard book. It was a really hard book to write, and apparently it's a really hard book to read as well.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
um, I posted a quote from it a couple of days ago, and doing that was like really heavy. And yeah, so I don't know how much promotion I'm going to do for that book, but yeah, it's coming out on June the 6th, 2026.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do like like a book box for it, with all the cool like in-world stuff, because I like book boxes that have like in-world stuff. So I'm planning on doing one of those. I'll probably just do, a total of six giveaway or six,
Right.
boxes. I do have to keep up with the theme here. So yeah, that's the next one,
Excellent.
unfortunately.
So would you like to close out the show by reading a passage of Died aloud to our audience?
I would actually. So here we go.
Excellent.
So
I would love to hear this.
this one is going to be chapter 6. So this is where she is going to give up and overdose on purpose. All right. The thing I said earlier about hating the sober life, I meant that shit. That is a hill that I would literally die on. The thought of running out and scrounging endlessly for something, anything to feed the beast scares me. It's not about getting fucked up to feel happy. It's about feeding. I talk about happiness as if I've known my whole life. It's not even a fucking acquaintance. If there's a feeling I hate more than sobriety, it's the scrounging life, the scraping the bottom of the baggy life, the ash and melted tar remnants life. After mom died, I had nothing but a growing drug habit that kept getting worse. I'll suck a guy's dick for drugs. I'll do that shit all the livelong day. But what I hate is taking a razor blade to baggie after baggie, hoping to get just a slice of a hit, just something to make the world go away. I have enough to kill me, and if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure that I get it done. I've come back from overdosing before. It's not fun, and I had a medical staff to help me. I had fuck all in this attic, so my death would end up being long and agonizing. I don't want to die suffering like that. Worst case scenario, I survive. Then I'm back at square fucking one. Just do it and get it over with. It's best this way, really. Not just because of the drug thing, but because I didn't extract any enjoyment from life, out of living, out of the sheer act of existence. There has never been a day where I woke up and thought, I'm so happy to be alive. I love life. Not one time. Even during the few times in my life where I felt something akin to joy. The syringe is loaded, barrels full of juice. The dead have already moved on. I haven't felt a bump in hours. Haven't seen any of them. I don't go back down though. I stay in the attic. I stay on the kid's mattress balanced between wooden beams. I turn the attic light off and use the flashlight on my phone to guide the needle in. I'm not even done pushing the plunger all the way in before I feel the full weight of the poison in my bloodstream. My thumb reaches the end of its mission and goes limp. Then rest of my body does too. I don't even have the energy or care enough to remove the syringe. I leave it, and let myself slump forward. The last thing I saw was the light on my phone. The last thought I have is my mom's face when she died, slack, jaw open, eyes half rolled back and visible under slack lids. She had looked like a corpse as the cancer ate her away. Then she was gone. I was going to join her now. There was plenty of juice to kill me. I allowed the blanket of death to drape over me and let myself slip away. No more worry, no more fear. I am fine.
There we go.
There you go.
There's that honesty in there. I like that.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Thank you.
So, any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, dude, I am reading a book by Nicole Lane. Oh my God, I cannot remember the name of the book. But dude, if you go and follow me on my Instagram, then I'm like talking about it. So yeah. No, just everybody be cool. Don't hurt me. Please read indigenous books. Yeah.
Where can people find you online?
Instagram, man. I'm all over Instagram, and like I check Facebook every once in a while, but yeah, Instagram.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for being a guest tonight, Izzy. It was really fun talking to you again, and I look forward to having you on the show again when your next project comes out. Don't forget, everyone, to head on over to Amazon and check out Died. And if you've enjoyed tonight's show, remember, like, share, subscribe to the Critical Blast Show on YouTube. That's it for tonight. The damn show is done.